Alrighty, y'all.
All right, y'all.
This is
live.
This is nuts.
And
Well, I got coffee too.
I got to pull up my
This
chart
is
here.
nuts. We're gonna wait for some people to jump on. For people that are rewatching this, hope y'all are having a great day.
I wanted this
What do you want?
supply report.
Well, we can put it up there. We're just getting all of our stuff put together here, y'all. What we got? What do you need?
It's on that same.
It's on the same one.
Yeah, here. Look.
Go ahead.
How's everybody doing this morning? So we want
to talk about this crazy
supply.
Tucker Carlson video, and we've had so many of y'all reach out, and y'all are like kind of freaking out, which I mean we are too until we did our research, because this is a really serious thing. Good old Tuck went up on stage and told everybody that we're going to be out of diesel. All of the U.S. is going to be out of diesel by Thanksgiving.
Well, not just Tuck. There's been lots of
other people
comments that saying we're running out of diesel.
Yeah.
And I can't, for some reason, when you go to the U.S. Energy and Information.
Well, yeah, there's probably loads of people going.
Yeah. When I try to open the reports, it keeps crashing on me. It might be due to traffic, but and I apologize for not having this up already because I should have already had it, and I need to here, let's scoot over here a little bit.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna try to find this. I have it right here on my phone, but it keeps crashing on me, so I can. And then this one is not the right one that I pulled up here. I'm trying to find petroleum supply. All right. Sorry for wasting y'all's time. I got oil petroleum supply here, and I don't know why when I click on this, the same thing is not coming up. But anyway, okay, we can talk about it anyway, whether or not
Doesn't
I have
matter.
the. But I'm looking at. Okay, no, I'm sorry. Here it is. I found it. It's going to be.
Sweet.
Yeah, this is a different one.
Stink.
You see what happens when I do this. No, that's just the raw numbers. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we can talk about this anyway. So, so these people are saying we have 25 days left of diesel fuel. Now, what makes me very skeptical of that, there's no doubt that supplies are diminishing and all that. I'm not doubting that. But when you look at the EIA numbers, that's where that's what Tucker Carlson said, that they reported this. When you look at the supply numbers, they do not reflect that.
No, I mean, they might have
actual numbers.
They might have dipped a little bit.
Yeah, and I really wish this would stop crashing because I could read it to you.
Did it just load up or no? Oh. Maybe you have to refresh your page.
No, it just keeps crashing. And then the whole thing crashes.
Wow. Must be just so many people on it.
But it was showing you week over week, and actually and I apologize. We started a little bit too early because I should have just had this. But yeah, I am on. Well, here, I'm gonna share the screen.
Yeah, we're gonna share the screen so then y'all can start seeing this stuff.
And now, I was looking at a couple of these reports, and the actual production was up slightly. And I'm just trying to find the one that I was looking at. And unfortunately, even their PDFs, they keep crashing. It's kind of crazy. But one of Matt's friends messaged us this morning and was asking, hey, did you hear about this?
Yeah.
And so here's where you can find the data. So
it's all there.
I'll put this.
And I was looking at some weekly supply stuff on there too, and I found some stuff. And there was a little dips in the system, but nothing crazy. Like even the actual storage capacities and everything were normal.
So if you go on here and you look at the different charts and production and even refineries are slightly up. They're running at about 90%. And I'm just not seeing any type of data, because just knowing supply and demand and just a little bit of economics, currently, if there was only 25 days of diesel fuel left, the price at the pump would be, I don't know, $40, $50, $100 a gallon.
Yeah.
Probably at a minimum. There would definitely be rationing. We're not seeing any of that. And I find it I'm very incredulous at the fact that like Fox News or anybody would report that, and they would vaguely reference, Tuck vaguely references this report, but then I mean, there's an enormous amount of common sense that's just like,
I mean,
wait a minute.
You're telling every trucker, every farmer that they're going to be pretty much out of a job. I mean, because no diesel, no trucks getting anywhere.
All infrastructure.
Everything.
All infrastructure would cease to exist instantaneously.
It'd be nuts.
The second what's more is transportation companies would already be price correcting for this as well. I mean, transportation costs as well as diesel costs would skyrocket. Transportation costs would immediately skyrocket because they're going to be padding for this. And we're not seeing any of that. I'm not saying that fuel is definitely going to be affected. The other thing that I've seen that's very strange is if you look at the current crude price per barrel, it's still only at $88. And we know that OPEC is already colluding with everybody else on the grand stage and reducing production. And why it's showing that the demand for crude is low when they're reducing production and the price per barrel is staying flat. There's a lot of just really observable, weird stuff going on. I mean, crude should be skyrocketing and it's not. And we do know that consumer consumption is people are responding and reacting, and people are definitely spending less, doing less, driving less. So there are, and that's the same thing with people always talking about everything like hyperinflation is just going to continue to infinity. No, consumers are going to react. Consumers are going to pull back, or the money's just going to dry up and run out. So, hyperinflation can't continue to infinitum, just strictly once again, because of supply and demand. Now they monkey with it and they don't play by the rules. And once you deviate from the fundamentals, it's like when Bush said, we have to abandon free market principles to save the free market. Well, as soon as you abandon free market principles, it ceases to be a free market. And we haven't had a free market. Well, we haven't had a truly free market for the last couple hundred years, but everything is being manipulated. But I can see diesel continuing. I can see the price continuing to rise. I can see it becoming more and more scarce. But there is no conceivable way that we're going to run out in 25 days. A
good amount of research.
I don't even
around, and
the one thing is you don't have to do very much research
at all.
I mean, it's most of it is just by observation. I would say that if we were going to run out of diesel in 250 days, it would
be
seriously dramatically affect.
That's what I was going to say.
Everything. Now, I mean, with supply and demand, these companies, they're not stupid and they're not dumb, and they're not just going to be like, oh well, we're just going to continue as normal for the next 25 days, and then we'll just close our doors and send everybody home. It doesn't work like that.
I mean, you would think if we only had 20 days left or whatever of diesel in America or whatever, you would think that there would be lines and lines of people and like farmers and everybody stocking up with diesel.
Well, and the other really good,
and this is like out of thin air.
Well, the other really good point on this
it's like 20
is
days left.
The government and COINTELPRO, they love to create chaos, and they would I do not doubt for a second that they would leak that type of information, right? And then everybody regurgitates it, and that in turn will create false supply and demand reactions and different things like that. But there's just no, from just straight perception, there's no way that this could be possible. It's just, that's what's really important is we put lots of different videos out there. We put other people's information out there, and everybody acts like, well, if you put somebody else's information, it's got to be gospel, and you must be fully bought into this. Like, with our Berkey video, like,
oh my word,
we weren't saying that Berkeys don't work, but what we were saying is that Berkey is being deceitful, and they're purposely manipulating the numbers, and they're purposely not providing the data that they say they have. They're absolutely lying. And so when you see that they're lying, well, that's not good. And there's a reason for that. And so it's something to be aware of. You know what I mean? It's just something to recognize, be aware of it. And then once you're aware of it, then you obviously, here, I'll close this off so we can, once you're aware of it, you can just filter everything and just, look into things yourself, research your things yourself, think about things yourself. It's just like, okay, it's exactly like Matt put out the chemtrail or the geoengineering or the weather modification, whatever you want to call it. People, hardcore truthers are upset when you use the term chemtrails. Chemtrails is a more recognizable term than geoengineering or weather modification, but they're absolutely doing it. The Air Force has written white papers on it, right? Weather as a force multiplier by 2025. It's 2022, y'all, and don't think that they're not going to practice, right? Or they don't think that they haven't been practicing for a very long time.
I could totally see them making a man-made diesel shortage or fuel shortage.
Oh yeah, of course.
I could totally see that
but
happening.
as soon as they start to really turn the spigot off, it's gonna dramatically impact things because companies and even individual tractor drivers and stuff. I mean, everybody is going to react immediately. It's just not. I mean, if
third world. Literally,
if we ran out of
zombie apocalypse,
if we ran out of diesel in 25 days, another tuber posted video on this about 10 days ago, and he said 25 days, and so now we're into like the 18 or 19.
Yes.
I mean, dramatic things would be happening to supply. Dramatic things would be happening to pricing. There would be dramatic shifts being made in the supply chain infrastructure. There's no way to compensate for this. It's not like, oh, well, they would do this and they would do that. And then, it's just.
That's the other thing too. Diesel is a byproduct of gasoline, Robert's saying too. So if you would have a shortage on diesel, you should have a shortage on gasoline.
Well,
right?
I mean, the strange thing is when you look at all these reports, overall, production's up, the refineries are at a higher percentage. So diesel production is down slightly.
Is down. I saw that.
But minimally. Not
it's just like it was like going like this and it just
no sky is falling stuff.
Yeah,
so
it's not like
I just that so when you see information, if you just do a little bit of which is what's really interesting about the whole chemtrail, geoengineering, weather modification, is there's so much out on it now, and there's so much writing on it. Dr. David Keith from Harvard, and you got, the usual suspects and Gil Bates and all these guys. They want to dim the sun to save us all and all this stuff. I mean, they're actively talking about it, and way before they ever actively talk about it, they try it out. I mean, it's just really peculiar. It's just really peculiar that people just want to be in denial about it. And you're this kook, and and obviously, the earth isn't flat, and Oswald really shot JFK by himself and all this stuff. They have to lump it. It's all got to get lumped in together to try to discredit you when, you can watch them supposedly, right? Airplanes fly over and then this all happens, but it only happens at certain times on certain days because there's an enormous amount of air traffic. It's just, you know, we've been watching this stuff, and for all y'all that are my age, and when you grew up outside like we did, you never saw this. It was never like this. And, you know, just in the last 20 years or so, has it really gotten very intensive. And it's just observable and perceivable. We had perfectly clear skies. They did all this stuff. It's raining really hard now. It's just not. It's, you know, you watch that haze. You know, people have no.
I pointed it out to one family member, and he was like, "Yeah, it's just vapor trail or whatever." I'm like, "Okay, if it's a vapor trail, it should disappear. So let's sit out here and watch it not disappear." He's like, "Oh no, I can't do that. Let's go inside quick." I'm like, "But if we sit out here for like 2 more minutes, we'll see that it doesn't disappear behind the plane, and it's not a vapor trail. It's totally a chemtrail."
Yeah.
Geoengineered.
You can absolutely see, you can absolutely watch these things then dissipate.
And I made the video because it was nuts. I've never seen it like blue on the ends of them and then kind of blend in like that. I've seen it kind of disperse, but it looked like it was blending into the sky, which was nuts.
What's real interesting is it was a Les Stroud. It was a Discovery channel, and it was older, and it was one of his. It was like a Les Stroud, which I forget the name of Les Stroud show. It was like it wasn't Dual Survivor. It was I forget Les Stroud show, but this show was from early 2000s, and he was
Survival Man.
Yeah, Survival Man. Yeah, Survival Man. That's it. And he was in Colorado, and he was in the Rockies, and he was, you know, surviving alone up there. And he was explaining about the pink snow.
Pink snow, y'all. That was nuts.
Yeah. And he was like, look, now he's like, never eat the pink snow because now you're at massive elevation. I mean, you're at massive elevation. You're in the Rockies. Snow. And for some reason, there's this pink particulate that's in the atmosphere that comes down with the snow, and it makes pink snow. And he's like, don't eat the pink snow, you know, like, well, how do we account for pink snow? What is the logical, rational, observable reason that there would be pink snow? So, I mean, it's super.
Or yellow. Yeah, either
exactly. way. Don't eat the pink or yellow snow. But you know, they keep spraying different stuff. There's Dane Wigington has done serious, extensive research. You know, I think Dane did What in the World Are They Spraying? There's another documentary called The Dimming. There's lots of research on the soil contamination of these heavy metals, barium, strontium, and just like mercury. And they're finding these heavy metals in soils where there's no type of heavy manufacturing production. And it's unexplainable how the soil is getting contaminated. And it's happening. So, we appreciate all our mods. Thanks, Pete, Carlos, Curly Q, if you're on.
Yeah, we just wanted to bring this. Yeah. We just wanted to bring this to y'all's attention because it's quite a
and we put stuff out there, and you guys should do a little more research. And look, we do lots of stuff, and we don't have time to just, you know, we're not your news source. We're not just
we're just
perpetually doing
projects,
all this research. You know, we have a life, we have different things to do. We want to put the information out. Take the information, look at the links. And
we left the link for the petroleum
status report. And you can look at the different data on there. And I don't know why somebody like Tucker, Tuck, dude, he's got peoples, y'all. I mean,
10 million.
I wish I had
subs.
I'm talking about the people that work for him. That literally type the teleprompter and tell him what to say. Like literally, like pull up a chart, man. Dude. Like it's just. and he said that he referenced
he did reference that
U.S. Energy Information Administration. Now, what I'm not saying is that they didn't put out some report that stated that. It's just like it was just like the USDA Register Your Garden thing, right? Initially, when that went up on the NRCS website, it did not delineate between private property, y'all. I read through the pages. I read through like 12 pages. It did not say anything about these can't be registered on private property. Several people posted a video on it, and several people since then, Allison Mars, several people have posted videos on this. Well, now if you look on their website, it says we're not talking about registering public gardens on private property, which I'm still trying to figure out where these gardens like are going to be in the middle of the road or something. Like I'm still trying to figure out how you can register a garden that's on non-private property.
I was just about to till up the road and just start planting me a public garden.
Yeah.
Get her registered. Do it in town square.
Yeah, we watched
man.
Pastors are fake, congregations are fake, probably NASA is fake. Lots of stuff is fake. Huh. Don't know. Chemtrails work.
Like that is the thing. I saw somebody say, like, what do we do about chemtrails and how could we like take action on that?
What we do is we detox, and you got to definitely be taking in your greens, and you got to be detoxing. What do? You know, people talk about growing food inside. We are going to have a greenhouse.
Yeah.
We don't have a greenhouse to protect our food from chemtrails.
No, we wanted to grow in the winter.
I think you have to detox.
We had some people comment that were like, "Oh, so that's why I stay inside and lock my door."
Yeah,
and I'm like,
we're not going to live like that. You know? It's just you do what you can.
What's the purpose of living if you got to lock yourself inside?
NASA is exclusively a front for the military-industrial complex, and everything they do.
Disgusting
was not
people.
A failure.
Yeah.
And Elon Musk is not going to reinstate the freedom of speech. And Elon Musk is not our friend. He makes all his money from the military-industrial complex and from tax subsidies. And he's not a good guy, y'all. And
nice. You drink tea to detox. We actually got detox tea on the website. Not trying to sound cheesy, but it actually is really good. The detox tea on our website, it's actually pretty good. I drink it all the time.
Frankincense. Yep.
Frankincense. Yep.
Frankenskies. Oh, you said Frankenskies.
Oh, Frankenskies.
There you go. Cilantro, burdock root.
Nice. Awesome.
Oh man, if you want information on Elon, James Corbett did in 1 hour. It was
I know.
Really
I
good.
watched it. I listened to it. It was crazy.
Yeah, Jason Burmis talks a lot about Elon and Project Blackjack, and that's what the whole Starlink and the satellite thing. He's a military. He's a military contractor. That guy, the Trump guy, Kash Patel. Kash Patel, I think it was in 2000. I forget when it was, but Kash Patel, you'll find a clip out there on Kash Patel, and he explains how he was on some big podcast with a bunch of people. And he's like, oh, well, we all know where Elon gets his money from. You know, he's a military contractor, and and that's why he got involved with the whole war thing with the two proxies right now that are doing their thing. Is he was supplying satellite info, and so that's how all that stuff works, y'all. So don't think that like Twitter is going to become the bastion of truth and freedom of speech.
Wow.
There's lots of weird freedom of speech is severely under attack between the whole Alex Jones trial, where they whatever you think about him, they literally it was a show trial. It was pure banana republic. It was absolutely like, well, he's guilty. And now we're just going to determine how much he owes everybody. And they literally decided on a 2.75 trillion.
Now, because it was 1 billion, now it's 2 trillion.
Yeah, it's
right.
2.
Is that legit? I saw that on some videos.
It was 2.75 trillion.
So did they like recalculate it?
I'm sorry. No, it was 2. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Trillion?
It was 2.75 billion. I'm saying trillion. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
Well, billion, trillion, it's all the same.
Whatever.
I mean, but the point is there's no way that this guy can even come up with a $500 million.
Yeah,
and
for real.
And it'll go to appeals court, and it'll probably most of it will get thrown out anyway. So there's a lot of dog and pony to all of it. But you have an individual citizen. Okay, so he had a company that in the grand scheme of things is relatively small, and they're trying to find him out of existence, not just livelihood, but I mean, 2.75 billion it's so funny, isn't it? How, like, I'm saying trillion, we've been so like 20 years ago, you couldn't even honestly fathom $1 trillion. And now I'm conflating billions and trillions because of like weekly deficits of the federal government, and federal spending is so
that's
cataclysmically.
Yeah, for real. Billion, trillion, whatever. Same thing. Amy said, is Kanye not good either?
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, and here's the thing, you got to be, I don't know if you can talk about Kanye, Lift the Veil talked about it, and then.
Well, can you say can you recommend anything?
I can tell you this, the topic and the way in which Kanye is presenting his argument definitely shows that he's mentally unstable, but it also, that's going to go to the whole freedom of speech talk and issue too. And he's getting totally canceled right now as well. And supposedly, according to Forbes, he went from being worth 11 billion, and they're saying now he is worth less than $1 billion because he lost all these.
So he's not even a billionaire now.
Contracts, yeah. But the way that he's, there's the other thing is there's a tremendous amount of truth to what he's saying as well. So it's a very
interesting.
It's very interesting. He's doing the whole, and then within this truth, it's the exact same thing. Is Kanye West the Black Alex Jones? Yes, he is, because besides the fact that he's saying like all this Black Hebrew Israelite stuff, and he's saying that he's a Black Hebrew Israelite, so he's saying that he is of the nation of Israel, and then he's doing all this conflation. It's a lot of
wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of interesting stuff, but it's all a direct attack on the freedom of speech, because here's the whole thing. Regardless of whatever Kanye thinks, he absolutely has the right to say it.
100%.
And he's not saying to hurt anybody. He's not, and what he is saying is he's saying it in generalities. And so he absolutely has the right to say it, and he shouldn't be censored. And we should be able to listen to him and say, well, that part of what he's saying makes sense. That part's totally nuts and crazy. And we as mankind could say, okay, well, I'm going to listen to him, and then I'm going to think about what he's saying. And then I'm going to affirm parts of it. Okay. Yeah. You know what? I mean, I can see why he's saying that. I see the reality and the data behind that. And yeah, that part's true. And what's he talking about over here? And that's nuts. And he's crazy. But he has the right to be crazy, and he has the right to have his own opinion, and he has the right to be eccentric. There's always been lots of eccentric people. There's always been many very successful people are incredibly eccentric. Now, a lot of them had military ties as well. I think of Howard Hughes, who was a billionaire and very eccentric and a recluse, but he was a military contractor, and that is where he made all his fortunes. And I'm not really down with Kanye for president. Guys, he's kind of a schizo, y'all. That's all I'm saying.
And he's like linking arms with Elon Musk too. So, did you see that they posted a photo together or whatever? Since Musk is buying Twitter, he's buying Parler, and they're acting like they're buddies, and they're gonna probably make the two if he does.
That makes a lot of sense.
They're gonna merge together.
See, here's the thing too. It doesn't have to be this greater scheme that's been thought out or planned out. It's just, there's a lot of things that can coincidentally happen, and it doesn't make it some overarching conspiracy theory.
No.
That's just the whole thing,
So to wrap it up a little bit here and get back on track just a little bit to the whole diesel shortage, I guess we will see.
It's going to be real easy, y'all. Let's see.
Today's right. Because I think
the 28th,
dude.
And so in 25 days,
the loyal Tucker Carlson fans, if it doesn't, now maybe we'll have to eat our words, but if we can still go from 20 some days from now and go get gasoline, I think he's going to get a lot of backlash, right? I mean, you went out there and said all that stuff.
Yeah. And you're kind of discrediting yourself by, making a crazy claim like that.
That's nuts.
Somebody said MK crazy. Ultra does make people crazy, and he has his whole childhood and everything. He's a usual suspect, y'all, between all the Hollywood stuff, and he was in there with Bruce and the K's, and and to be in tight with Bruce and the K's and all of that, and then to be all of a sudden going woke. There's a lot of usual skullduggery there. That's just, it's kind of hard to imagine that. 19th of November, they're creating a man-made shortage, they say. I would think that you would. I would think if that shortage is going to be real, we would start seeing like massive ramifications and repercussions.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. We'll see. Like I said,
maybe we're wrong.
November 19th. So that's
I think it's like, what is it?
Yeah,
is it Thanksgiving Day or the day after or something? He said something.
I don't know when Thanksgiving is.
Or whenever. It's on a Monday or whatever, I think. Or something.
I don't buy the whole thing. If they're on TV, they're co-intel. I don't buy that. I know personally of people that have been able to go on TV and get it. Will Harris from White Oak Pastures, right? Regenerative ag farmer. He was on Fox News.
Oh, okay.
So that doesn't, so all of that like blanket statement I think is kind of dumb. And I know that a lot of these truthers say dumb stuff like that, but it doesn't make you the boogeyman just because you're allowed on TV. It doesn't make you.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people.
They say it about us. Yeah. Like if you don't talk about the Jews enough, and if you don't hate on the Jews and like just blame one ethnic race of people for the world's problems, that obviously the people bang on Corbett about that, even though Corbett has a video on the dancing Israelis for 9/11. And, if a lot of truthers are like, if you are not exactly like me and you don't see it exactly the way I see it, you're co-intel pro. Yeah, and it's just, once again, it's just not rational. It's not logical. It is, you do sound crazy. And I know a lot of the stuff that we talk about, we believe and adhere to. People. Hey, biblical Christianity and just reading the scriptures and trying to practice biblical Christianity, most people, honestly, even most professing Christians today think is insane. And many professing Christians don't even believe the Bible is real. The balance of those people, well, the Bible was written by man and man did all this, and it's all zeitgeist and it's repackaged Mithraism and all that stuff. And just, so the core foundational fundamental, you have quote unquote, you have YouTube homesteaders that if you are remotely Christian, you're this boogaboo. And so, we are lunatic conspiracy theories. Like if you think God's coming back, that Jesus is coming back and God's going to judge the world. like you're obviously a lunatic. So
yeah. That's very true. We are the carbon that they want to reduce.
That hence the T-shirt.
Hence the T-shirt. So. I'm
hey,
filling my truck up today.
I think it's very wise, because here's one thing that absolutely will happen when that kind of information, that went out 11 hours ago on Tuck. When that kind of information goes out,
dude,
smart people are going to say, yo, dude, I'm going to get me some diesel today. And that will
stock up.
Yeah, and that will obviously affect the supply. So part of it could be a partially self-fulfilling prophecy in that sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, they could make their own little tidal wave just by, having a big influx of people going out and filling up on diesel and stuff like that too. I'm a loony then.
All right, y'all. Well, we're going to be, it's raining here today. We're going to be posting some videos.
Cranking
we're in the new studio. The echo's getting better. We
shot a video. It's about some people having BlackRock put a pipeline straight through their private property. And it's pretty nuts. And they don't want it to happen. And it's pretty nuts. I don't know. It'll be coming out sometime today. So look forward to that. Thank you all so much for being on so short notice. And we just, Dad was like, oh, do you want to make this video or post the other video? I was like, let's make this
y'all,
video.
I think I'm going to be on the David Knight show, so I'll keep you posted on that.
Wait, today?
No, not today.
No. Yeah.
I just got an email back. But hey, check out David Knight. He's a podcast and he's on most platforms, but he's really, I really love his information. I love his approach. Yeah, David Knight, the David Knight show. I'll keep you posted on when we'll be on there. It got rescheduled, so I was supposed to be on there today. But yeah, we're gonna be cranking out some videos today. We're gonna be working in the studio because we're gonna get rained out.
Getting some serious rain. So
and we're going to be we should be shooting some Texas Mom videos today. And so when we do that, y'all, just so you know, we'll be when we do that, we'll do a dual post, so that way everybody on here that's been clamoring for Texas Mom will know, and then they'll get to go over to Texas Mom's channel and watch that. And we appreciate y'all. Ricko, hey Ricko, what's your take on the diesel? Rick's in the know. Rick's in the know. Rick pays attention. He's do you think we're running out? Do you think we're running out of diesel in 19 days, Ricker? The OG.
I'm proud to be a crazy Christian.
It's a badge of honor. I really appreciate the Homesteaders of America Conference. And absolutely. I appreciate the Warrior Poet Society. He's a good dude.
I started watching his stuff. It's pretty good. It's really high quality.
Go ahead and subscribe to our channel. All right, y'all. Subscribe. Rick thinks it's going to happen. Okay. Do you think it's going to happen in 19 days, Rick? I think it's going to potentially happen. Sooner rather than later. I mean, they keep telegraphing it. So, I mean, if it doesn't happen, they're going to make it happen. I just don't see it happening. I think it's some false info to be like, hey, wait a minute, all these kooky.
I mean, there's been fuel shortages before, so, and we don't learn from, we the people learn from history, but they, them, those.
All right, y'all.
But yeah, so
we'll have some videos coming up. We'll have a video posted today, right?
Yeah, we should have at least one more or two more videos posted today.
All right, we'll see y'all.
See y'all.